Hello and welcome to the Manifest to Live Life Golden Show. This is season 2, episode 22. We are talking today about how much you matter. This topic has been coming up a lot for me, and I'm going to share some personal stuff with you just so you get an indication that I may know where you're at if you're feeling this way. If you're not feeling this way and you're feeling super fulfilled in your life, that's freaking awesome. But this is the thing. We go through cycles in life and there's the ups and the downs. And I always share that life is super relentless and it's always going to keep coming at us. So this may be a good show for you to listen to today so you can kind of pack these little seeds away and then use them when you need to, or kind of save it for on a day when you're feeling like you need a little bit of upliftment. I've had a realization lately. I think I've known this for a long time, but it's really coming to light that I am an alchemist. Now, this is not a brag, it's a fact. I'm an alchemist. So when people talk to me, I remind them and I say the right words and the right vibration, it can change the way you feel. When you change the way you feel, you change everything because the way you feel conducts what's coming towards you. It conducts the thoughts that are being initiated within you that are going to tune you into the station, that are going to tune you into more frequencies that bring more of that stuff like that to you. So if you get stuck in a habitual thought pattern that is of a low vibration, I'm talking about depression, I'm talking about a low state of mind, a low state, and I'm seeing it a lot on social media. I'm seeing a lot of people that are really sharing that they're in a lot of pain and they're reaching out, and I want to reach back. I want to reach back to every single one of them. I want to give them a hug. I want to tell them that they're not alone. I want to tell them that they matter, and that the fact that we get up every single day and we do this life thing says a lot. And it's important that you keep going. It's really important because we're here for the journey. We're here for the expansion and growth, and the negative emotions and the things that we're being asked to heal. That's what negative emotions are always about. It's a call to heal. It's an invitation to heal. And if you start looking at your path that way, it will start making more sense. And you will stop feeling so powerless against these emotions. Your emotions are driven, they're energy in motion. They are driven by your thoughts and beliefs. And those thoughts and beliefs, as they go out and become emotion, as they're creating this wave, they literally create the world you're living in to reflect how you're feeling inside. So I've seen this across the board. I recently worked with someone who was really struggling in friendships. Like for a lot of her life, she struggled in friendships. She had a lot of bullying situations. She felt alone. She felt like nobody loved her. So she continually created situations, work experiences, friendships that just let her down, disappointed her, left her with dissatisfaction. And we've been working. We've been working hard. She's been working hard to find the truth of who she is. The reason why you feel so bad, the reason why you feel you don't matter is because you forgot. You are forgetting. You are tuned in and focused on a lie, an absolute lie. So I've been working with her, and the most incredible things have happened. She's gotten in a few, not just one, but two incredible jobs. She called me today. She said, "Oh my gosh, my coworkers are just so full of love for me and keep telling me what a hard worker I am and how good of a job I'm doing." And I said, "You deserve that." And they're showing you that the hard work you've done is paying off, that it's happening. And now you just need to grasp that and believe it more and more and more, and your life will continue to reflect that. And if something happens that's not in alignment with this new identity that you've created, being this loving and worthy being, it just means you have more things to clean up. But if you stop feeling triggered, that means you've healed. And that means you're in such a good place in your soul's journey to expand and grow. So I recently, I've been in times of my life of extreme despair. So I don't suffer. I really don't. I don't love this when people say, "Oh, I suffer from depression." Because when you say things like I suffer from depression or I suffer from a debilitating disease that's, can't be cured, When you say those things, you manifest them into your life experience even more solidifying, right? They become who you are. I am a person who suffers from depression. It means you can't get out of it. It means there's no way out. And our society loves to do this. Our doctors love to do this. They love to give us diagnoses that keep us reliant on them and on the pharmaceutical companies. Now, in saying that, I have been in times of really dark despair. I would say, dark nights of the soul, if you've never heard of that. A dark night of the soul is when you feel you've completely lost your connection to God, source, universe, whatever you like to call it. You've completely lost the connection and you feel lower than, and you feel like your whole life is pointless. And I have had moments in my life, especially when I was raising my four girls, where I felt like everything was pointless. And I wouldn't say that I've never, maybe as a teenager, I was suicidal, but at that point in my life, I knew I just had to keep going in order to find my way. And for you, that is the absolute truth. You just need to keep going to find your way. And if you are listening to this, there is so much juice in here for you. There is so much for you to take from this conversation, from these words, from this vibration, from the love that I'm sending you, that can transform your life if you just listen. If you open up that beautiful heart of yours, if you open up that closed mind of yours and you really hear me. You matter. And you are the purest essence of love that there is. You are made up of a trillion cells. Your body, your spirit, your mental abilities are a walking, talking miracle. And without you, the world would not be the same. It would not be the same. So I actually, one of the reasons I came up with this talk today is because I went through, I go through my times. I go through my times of doubt. I go through my times of not feeling good enough, or not feeling like I'm doing enough, or not knowing if anybody's even listening to me. I mean, it's a lonely place over here in my house talking to myself all the time. So I go through these moments. And I had a real pivotal moment the other day. It was really interesting. So my husband and I have been watching this show, and I am not selling you on this show. If you watch this show, it is on your own accord, and it is because I have planted the seed of curiosity, but I'm not promoting this show. But I do love shows that make me really think, that give me a profound message that leaves me for a few days really, really thinking about it, and how prevalent it is in our own society or in my own life. So I watched the show Beef. Okay. It's on Netflix. You don't have to watch it. There's a lot of weird stuff in it. It's really twisted. But basically, it's a story about road rage and two people who get into, and apparently it's based on a true story. God, I hope a lot of it's not true, but they basically get into this road rage incident and end up completely just making each other's lives hell. Like they just go up against each other and they create all this havoc and all this chaos in each other's life. And at the end of it, they come together and realize how much pain and suffering they've both been in their whole lives, and never ever feeling like anyone understood them, never ever feeling like a good person. And because they never ever felt like a good person, they had tendencies to make really bad decisions. And their truest, corest belief was that they were bad people, that they were just bad people to the core, and they were never going to figure it out. And ugh, God, it was heart wrenching. I mean, I cried at the end. It was heart wrenching. So it gave me some thoughts about the way many of us feel. And I don't know if this is across the board, but I can imagine it is, because I do so much work on my mind. I do so much work on my emotions. I do so much work on healing, that if I am struggling with this, then there's a lot of you out there that are. That's just my belief, is that we all need to come together and we all need to come together and have compassion for one another and understand that every single person is, I don't want to say fighting a battle. I don't like the idea of that, but literally navigating a life that can often feel like a minefield because you don't know what's around the corner and you're not always prepared for the things that happen. And because no one taught us how to navigate our emotional field or how to navigate broken hearts or how to navigate financial struggle or how to none of it, none of it were we prepared for. None of that school ever taught us how to deal with relationships, with marriages, with divorces. None of us were taught that. So now we're given this, adulthood where we're supposed to know better and we're supposed to be happy and we're supposed to know what our purpose is. And many of us are sitting here at 40, 30, 40, 50 years old going, what the hell? How did I get here? And what am I doing? And who am I? Right? So I'm looking at this and I'm going, wow, how do we change this? How do we go from being in this low, dense emotional place to coming out of it again and feeling fulfillment and purpose and passion, right? So I'm doing this. I'm totally doing this. So on early this week, so I had some moments, and they were based a little bit on kind of a viewership thing, like how many views things were getting, and the work that I'm putting into my show, The Golden Hour. And I came across some information that really, really kind of put me down and made me feel like, what am I doing this for? And turns out that information was actually wrong, which is interesting, right? Invitation to heal something. But funny, the other night I was laying in bed, I was getting ready for bed, and that was a rough day. It was a rough day. But one thing that I realized through that day was the only thing that matters, the only thing that we really need to do is just be present. Be present to the people in front of us, be present to our life, love one another, and do the best we can, right? So I kept like playing with myself there. No, playing with myself. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. I kept navigating that with myself. And I kept coming back to, it's okay. Like, just get through this day. Sometimes it's like that. You just got to get through the day because the day is rough and hard. And I do believe there's some planetary energies that happen for me. I do believe that. I do. And since I do, it is. But I was laying in bed that night and my daughter came in and she was telling me all about this new friend that she made and how excited she is and how the girl came in and they came to her dance class and they stopped at her work. Like, they went out of their way to see her at work. And she said, I've never had a friend that went out of their way for me. And I said, honey, you deserve that and you matter. And she's showing you that you are worth that and that you matter. And she said, oh, mom, you matter too. And I said, no, I don't. No, I don't. I don't matter. And my husband said, oh, your mom's just fishing for compliments. And I said, no, I'm fishing for sympathy. Get it straight. And we laughed and it was lighthearted. And I started to see the ridiculousness of the story that I was tuning into with myself that I have for years over and over again. It's getting better. It's getting less. Still could be there. And I started to feel a little more light. And the next morning I woke up really light. And then solutions came. And that's what happens when you get out of the freaking problem. The solutions come. And I started to feel gratitude. Oh my God, I'm so grateful. I'm so freaking grateful for my life. I'm so grateful for the beautiful trees. I love palm trees and I'm surrounded by them. And I am so blessed to live in one of the most beautiful places. I recently reconnected with a friend who I just absolutely adore. And we've been spending time together, and that feels so good. And just really ramping up the gratitude. What do I have to be grateful for? And what's next? That's my thought. That's always my thing, is like, all right, I'm open. I'm ready to receive. What's next? What you got for me? Where are we going from here? So if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling uncertain, if you're feeling like, these are some of the feelings that you may have that I just kind of wanted to lay out. And it was funny because I thought about doing this show a couple days ago and I just actually had the time today to do it. My daughter, if you don't follow my daughter on Instagram, she's amazing. Jade the Carpentress, I think is her name on Instagram, the Carpentress. She did a a little real, and it was her voice. And yeah, it made her mama cry and it made her dad cry too. And it was all about, she quit her job a year ago. I'm going to have her on the show as soon as I can pin her down. She's super busy right now. But a year ago, she quit her job. She actually builds houses. She was a foreman for a company. She started with my husband right out of college. I mean, right out of high school. College didn't work for her. She's not a college girl. She started working for my husband. And then she started working for her husband before they were married. And then they both lived here and worked for my husband. And then she went back and she was a foreman for someone, and she was very unhappy and decided, you know what I really want to do is I want to take down old barns and I want to create furniture. And that's what she did. But her reel today was it was just heart-wrenching. And it was this idea, where sometimes she wakes up and she feels like a phony. She's got that imposter syndrome. Like, who am I to be building like custom high-end furniture? And then how she procrastinates sometimes, and how sometimes it's really hard, and she's learning and she's expanding and she's growing, but some days it's just really tough. But she believes in herself, and man, it was so good. It was so good. And it made me feel like, wow, we have created someone who gets this stuff at 31 years old, and is navigating this and putting it out there to people, being raw and authentic and real, and sharing that with people, because people look at her. I know this, and I know people look at us too and go, oh my God, those people. Like, I think I've probably probably lost followers because of this, and whatever, people are going to be people. But people look at us and they look at her and they go, man, she's so badass and she's so perfect and she's got it all figured out. And it's like, no, we navigate the same stuff that everybody else does, but we have an advantage. We have a serious advantage, and that advantage is alchemy. That advantage is that we have knowledge of the laws of the universe that actually help us, assist us in this navigation process, so we can keep returning to joy, so we can keep up leveling into our spiritual evolution, so that we can keep sharing it, so that we can keep making a difference in this beautiful world that we live in. So, so good. Such good stuff. So these are some of the things that you may be feeling at times, and I'm going to give you ways to navigate it. Humor, absolutely. Lightheartedness will pull you out of anything. But there are times in your life where the darkness is real, where the darkness is important, where the darkness is part of the journey. I was there for a couple of months at one time in my life when I went through some family stuff. I was there for a few months, like not eating, not sleeping, not talking, getting up every day with just this cloud over my head. And I would say the recipe for getting out of that is to reach. To reach. You're in that rabbit hole. You got to reach. You got to reach for people. You got to reach for prayer. You got to reach for meditation. You got to reach for gratitude. You have to become determined to get yourself out of the bullshit. Because if you don't, you're going to feel like every day you're just piling more junk on top of yourself. And then it's going to be really hard to get out, especially if you're using food, alcohol, or drugs to distract you, or to dumb it down. I can't say that enough. I really believe that alcohol and weed, I know you think it's giving you some sort of relief, but the truth is those are low vibrational substances that are going to pull you down further. And take a break, man. Take a break. If you are depressed, take a break from that stuff, because it's not serving you and it's not going to help you get out anytime fast. Just from personal experience, but also if you look into any kind of research on alcohol and weed, recently I was looking at, because a lot of people say, I do condone psilocybin, which is not quite legal yet, but we take other mushrooms. We do lion's mane. We do the five defenders. But actually do. I have a real mushroom discount while I'm talking about it. Here you go. These are not psychedelic mushrooms. And the psilocybin I talk about is it's super low dose. It's a microdosing situation. If you look up microdosing, it has literally helped people with depression, with PTSD. Look at Change Your Brain on Netflix. Look at Fantastic Fungi. We are basically from mushrooms. So the thing about weed is, and many people have justified this to me, it's natural, right? It grows in the ground. So it should be good for you because it's natural. Well, I don't think it naturally was ever supposed to be like put into a pipe and lit and put into your lungs. I don't know. I don't know who came up with this. But the problem with it, and this was actually, I got this out of a spiritual community. So take it for what it is. Truth, I don't know. I just go inside and I go, does that feel true to me? And I was a user a long time ago, and nothing. I'm so glad that I let it go at a very early age. As soon as I had kids, I let it go because it was just not making me a good person. It was interrupting my motivation. It was causing procrastination. It was causing depression. I'm a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids, and like, it wasn't good for me. Wasn't good for me. So I'm really glad we actually, when we started our religious journey, that's when we both let it go and never look back. And we won't. We absolutely won't, because in the spiritual community, they were saying the problem with it is it's not the plant itself, it's what they're putting in it. So if you're getting it from different places, you don't actually know what you're getting. So there's a lot of chemicals and different things. But if you've been doing it for a while and you're like, my life is fine and I'm motivated and all this stuff, like I always think about Snoop Dogg. I'm like, but who would Snoop Dogg be without it? Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see the incredible stuff Snoop Dogg could do completely sober. That's what I want to see. But I get it. Life is challenging. We do things to escape reality. We do things to gain relief. I still drink alcohol every once in a while. Not a fan of it anymore. I really am not. It's not doing me a lot of good. I'm a one and done girl at this point. It's kind of pointless at this point, but it's part of our society, right? All right. So here's a couple things you may be feeling and what it may be connected to. Imposter syndrome, which is like you feel like a phony. You feel like, you don't deserve what you have. Not forgiving yourself. You're listening to the shitty committee, right? We've got this committee inside of us that is usually attached to old things that people told us about ourselves, or, people plant little seeds and then we water them because we listened to that shitty committee. Getting in an extremely low vibe and tuning their day after day. So it's waking up every day. It's complaining first thing. It's thinking about the pain in your body. It's thinking about how things aren't right. It's thinking, stinking thinking. It's thinking about all the shit that's not going right. That will tune you in day after day after day. And if you don't do anything to change it, it will turn into depression if it hasn't already, because you are just low vibing, and you'll just get lower, 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 lower. Life will reflect that lowness to you. In all of those things that you're experiencing, the doubts, the fears, whatever it is, you're forgetting who you are. You're forgetting who you are. You're forgetting why you came here. You're forgetting all of the amazing, incredible gifts and talents and the things that you have lived through so far. You're forgetting. You're forgetting what you put out there in the world. You are forgetting. And if you're not putting anything out there in the world, it's time to start. Because the putting the stuff out there in the world, the living your gifts, the living your talents, if you don't know what those are, you got to start meditating to find out. You got to find out what makes your heart sing. You got to stop saying that there's nothing, and you got to stop saying you're confused and you don't know what it is, and start asking. Just start asking. I'm open to receive. Let me know what it is. I'm here and I'm ready. You've never found someone to reflect the truth of who you are. And that was definitely the case in this show, even though it was a TV show. It was definitely the case in this show where there was 2 individuals who felt incredibly alone and like no one understood them. And there is someone who sees you. I see you. And if you need me, inbox me. On Facebook or Instagram, Live Life Goldyn, Goldyn Duffy on Facebook. My email is livelifegolden@gmail. I want to hear from you. I want to assist you. If you tell me what's going on, I will anonymously put what you're dealing with into my show, and help you navigate it through this medium. I will love you. I will support you. That is one of my biggest things, is I never want anybody to feel alone. I always want you to know that someone is there for you, and that someone can be me. Okay. So because you feel alone and unworthy, that's what you're getting reflected in your world. That's what people are showing. People cannot show you how you are the purest essence of love if you have no belief that that is true, if you have no connection to that within your very own spirit. You have to meditate. You have to close your eyes. You've got to go within, and you've got to find that place inside of yourself where the truth lives. And that truth is, you are an expression of divine energy. You are an expression of infinite intelligence. You are the purest essence of love that there is. And when this is all over, when you go back into that stream of consciousness, you're going to know it. And you're going to go, man, why did I waste so much time not knowing that? Why did I waste so much time not believing that? Why did I spend so much of my life trying to prove that I was something that I am already? Why did I spend so much time not believing in myself? I don't think you go into the stream of consciousness and beat yourself up. Anyways. So if you have lost your connection, it's time for you to wake back up. This show is your wake up call. I'm right here telling you it's time to wake up. It's time to stop the bullshit. It's time to stop listening to those negative voices that are bringing you down. It's time to stop having regrets about the past and missing those people that shit all over you, and spending time in your problem after problem after problem. The cycles you're living is because of the cycles you're thinking. It's because of the cycles you're feeling. And you can get out of that. You absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, can get out of that. All right. This is how we do this. First of all, I want you to think about all the things that you're doing that make you feel bad about yourself. I want you to think about all the ways that you're thinking about yourself and all the things you're doing that solidify that belief within you. So all the ways that you don't love yourself, I want you to look at those. So it could be drinking. It could be not having boundaries with people. It could be not taking care of yourself. Are you overweight? Are you eating crap? Are you not exercising? Those are all ways you're telling yourself, I don't love you, and no one else is going to love you either. So we have to start changing the way you treat yourself first. So the first thing I would say is meditate. I have a free group on Facebook. It's called the M21 Revolution. Get in there. We just did a 21-day challenge that is pinned to the top, which is a donation-based challenge. So no money needs to exchange unless you're feeling like you really want to do it. The M21 Revolution group on Facebook, if you go to the ask to get in there, I'll let you in there. You go to the top of the page, we've got all the meditations pinned from the last 21 days. We will teach you how to meditate, and we will help you to create a habit. Those meditations are gold. You will come out of those 21 days and you will say, I am able to meditate. I promise you, you will not say you can't meditate unless you're really hard on that, but you can let that go. The M21 Revolution on Facebook. All right. So these are ways that you can show yourself that you love yourself. Meditate. Find a way to quiet your mind. Find a way to get into your breath. Find a way to sit for 15 minutes every single day and say, this is my time. If you have to, get up early. Heal. You have to heal. You got to look at these wounds that are creating this BS for you. And you got to start healing them. You got to stop believing them. You got to start asking the questions. Where is this belief coming from? Where is the foundation for me? Where have I, accepted this in my life? I have an awesome journal for you. Journaling is a great way for healing. The Mindful Manifestation Secrets Daily Guide and Journal. You can find this on Amazon. This is a great journal for healing. There's a lot of healing stuff in here to help you heal. So this is a gorgeous book. It's a hardcover. It's got lots of journaling pages in it, but it also has 100 pages of healing. And my podcasts are in here too that relate to each chapter. And there's questions and writing prompts and intentions for the day. I mean, this book is like the bomb. Learn new things. Learn new things. Show yourself you're worthy of learning new things. Show yourself you're worthy of expanding your mind, that you're not too old, that you're able to do new things. Put yourself in new opportunities to meet people that will show you how worthy you are. You start to change your vibration, and different people are going to come into your life. Better people are going to come into your life. That's what just happened with this woman I was telling you about. She changed her vibration. She started doing things that made her feel good. She started going out in nature. She started meditating. She started seeking the goodness in life. That's what she did. She started seeking the goodness in life. You got to start seeking the goodness in life and let the stuff go, the stuff that's not serving you go. Take care of yourself, please. Take care of yourself, for me, for the world. Take care of yourself. Eat good foods. Stop eating dead food. You know, we had a whole conversation about cereal last night. We went out to dinner with our neighbors, and y'all know that I got this thing with donuts where I call them do-nots, and I haven't eaten a donut since they started calling it a do-not because it tastes good for a couple seconds, and then like where are we left? Usually with a stomach ache for me because I don't ever eat them. So when I do, you can follow that bad food back. But if you've been eating a bunch of junk food, I'm telling you, it's a depressant. First of all, sugar is the devil. Second of all, it's not going to give you energy. It's not going to make you feel good. If you start exercising, you will be more drawn to healthy foods. So get more fruits, get some more vegetables in your life. Feed your body with the good stuff. I just lost 7 pounds on the Isogenics cleanse. Holy crap. I don't have a link for you yet, but I will very soon. Yeah, I did 11-day cleanse. I'm on day 7 or 8. I think I'm on day 8. And I feel incredible. I feel absolutely incredible. I have so much energy. My clothes are fitting better. The whole thing. When you lose a little bit of weight, you feel better about yourself. There's no doubt about it. Maybe it's, I don't care if it's vanity. The truth is, we're not meant to be like puffy and chubby and, hiding ourselves in our clothes. We're supposed to be fit. We're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to feel good about ourselves. And when we do that, the people will reflect that to us. So get out there, start walking. If nothing else, I've been doing 10,000 steps a day. In fact, I've been doing more than that, but get yourself out there, get yourself one of these crazy Apple Watches and walk 10,000 miles. Actually, you don't even need this. Your iPhone will do it. If you keep your iPhone on you, there's a little health app and it will, it's not totally accurate because you don't always have it on you, but I did that for the longest time until I found this little Apple Watch that my daughter had that no one was using. So get moving, get yourself out in nature. I can't say that enough. Get out in nature, put your feet in the ground, do something that will help you to elevate. Listen to the Elevators. They're my favorite band, the Elevators. They're a reggae band. They're amazing. High vibrational music, stick figure as well. Listen to good music. Stop listening to the heavy metal stuff. I'm telling you, they've done studies on this, and it's low vibrational music that activates anger and adrenaline. When you are activating anger and adrenaline, what do you think your life is going to reflect? Same thing with horror movies and watching the news. That's the stuff you're going to come from. Have boundaries. Yeah, if we don't have boundaries with people, we're not telling ourselves we love ourselves. We aren't. We're putting other people's, and this is the Christian way, service, putting others before ourselves, that's the social programming. And if you believe that, you probably wouldn't be listening to the show. But the truth is, obligation is one of the biggest life suckers out there. It really is, because it makes us feel imprisoned. It makes us feel powerless. It doesn't allow us to live our truth, to live our gifts, to live what we love, and it's never going to lead you to joy. And it's looking for love in all the wrong places, right? It's looking for love from lack. Stop doing things you hate. Stop doing things you hate. So I recently went through this thing. I have my show, The Goldyn Hour. It's on my live section of YouTube. If you haven't seen it, I interview people. I've had a super good time with it. Super fun. It was draining the crap out of me. I'm doing 2 shows a week. It's an hour show each. I'm interviewing people all the time to see if they're right for the show. And I just said mercy. So what I did, which was amazing, I just put a pause on it. So I didn't quit. because I have a year contract and I didn't want to quit because I'm not a quitter, but I put a pause on it because I need to restructure some things, and I've got some amazing stuff coming up for you. So my husband and I are working on some stuff. We're going to start doing some advertising on Facebook for it, and I'll let you know. We're going to do a little 3-day challenge. It's going to be super exciting. It's going to be super life-changing, and we've got some incredible events set up for people to come and experience us, experience the alchemy that we teach, experience the life-changing stuff that I'm talking about in person. It's going to be so freaking cool. Don't listen to that shitty committee. You got to shut the shitty committee down. You got to stop giving it so much power. You got to say, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And use some humor. See if you can be a little more lighthearted. See if you can joke around with people. I know you may not feel like it if you're in a super low place. I was there a couple of weeks ago, and it was definitely connected to alcohol because I had been, it's summer. I do really well during the week, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday can be like one straight party. And I don't drink a ton, but like 2 or 3 glasses of wine. And then on Monday, I wake up and I'm like, I hate the world and I hate myself. And why do I keep doing this? So I just put the kibosh on that. We're going to stop doing that. We're going to be sober for a little while. We're going to get back to our joy, because I definitely can feel it. Like it's getting more and more obvious to me, feeling that dip in my vibration from putting some substances into my body. So yeah, you have fun in the moment, but do you? Like I went out last Friday. We had a super busy weekend last weekend, went out dancing, had a lot of fun, went to the Sawdust Festival, which is this little art thing here. I think I shared this on my Golden Hour show. I got my little Brian Zion. Look up Zion, the artist, I think he is on Instagram. Oh my God, love this guy so much. We're going to do some stuff together, but he's got a really big one of these that I'm going to totally buy. So I told him my little Buddha dude is with me all the time. So I went and got a bunch of these because I'm going to start giving them out as gifts because I love them so much. But we did a lot of dancing and I was completely sober. And one of the things that I realized, thought I had trouble dancing sober, but I really don't. I have the music in me, like literally. I realized the clarity and connection and how I was so much more in tune to people and talking to them and communicating with them. And it was a cool lesson. Like I want more of that in my life. I don't want to just drink alcohol and tune out and have fun, but not as much fun. It's not as much fun. Gratitude, baby. Oh man, the gratitude. Gratitude is where it's at. I know it sounds very cliche, but the truth is, when we tune ourselves into what's good about life, when we tune ourselves into what we love, when we tune ourselves into what we have versus what we don't have, we get more. It's that simple. It's that simple because the universe goes, oh, you love this? How about you love this? Do you love this? Do you want more to love? Because you're in the vibration of love and appreciation, which are the highest vibrations they can have. So I'm throwing you a lifeline today. I'm telling you that you matter. I'm telling you that you are the purest essence of love. I am imploring you to connect in a way that allows you to feel this from other people. So I gave you a lot of tips. I gave you a lot of tricks. If you need more help, you can reach out to me. But I want you all to know that this navigation of life is freaking relentless, man. It's relentless. I talk to a lot of people with incredibly challenging stuff, traumas, tragedies, all sorts of stuff all around them. And, it's like perspective, right? Trauma, tragedy gives us great perspective. Long time ago, I used to go to funerals to give me perspective because life, we don't know when it's going to end. We're taking it for granted over here. We don't know. It could happen like that. So the reality is, what do you have right now? What's good right now? What's good in your life right now? And if there isn't anything good, how can you build good right now? How can you create good? It's up to you. You got to stop giving your power away and decide today is the day. I'm going to take my power back and I'm going to remember who I am. I'm going to connect with that part of myself that knows, that higher state of consciousness that knows that all is well, that I am on my way, that I am in the perfect place to expand and grow and become more. And it's all worth it. It's all worth it, baby, because you're expanding, you're growing, you're becoming more. And every day that you wake up and you do this thing called life and you do it to your absolute best, you're winning. Yeah, absolutely winning. All right. That's it for my show today, people. I love y'all. Peace out.